What's going on, guys? I'm Cam. I'm one of the coaches here at Hustler, and this is the first of what's going to be a series of informational videos on our YouTube channel. So looking forward to putting these videos out. They're going to start off a little bit more basic and a little bit more broad, and then as the videos build and build, we're going to get into more niche topics and a little bit more detail. And I'm really looking forward to putting this information out. So if anyone has something they'd like covered in the video, feel free to let us know, and it's definitely something that we can make happen. So if you're new to training, it can be easy to become overwhelmed by the amount of information that's out there. Knowing where to start and what's actually important isn't always easy, and depending on where you look, you can find some drastically different answers. This video has been formed to put together a resource that I think would have helped me a lot when I first started out training, with plans in the future to build on more of these topics in more detail as we go along. So the first piece of advice that I'd give to somebody starting out with training would be to start small and build up. As tempting as it can be, starting with 6 sessions a week can be an easy way to burn out quickly. You're far more likely to stick with training for a long time if you start out smaller with 2 to 3 sessions a week, getting all of your sessions in, and then increasing the number of sessions down the track once training's become a part of your lifestyle. You can progress on very, very little in the beginning, so focusing on enjoyment and ingraining habits should be the priority here, and the number of sessions will come later. The next piece of advice that I would give would be follow a structured program and stick with that program. To get results, training should have some structure. And if you're going into the gym and making things up as you go, you're not putting yourself in the best position to progress long term. Following a structured program will get you the results far quicker. A common mistake we'll see a lot of beginners make is hopping from program to program without sticking with a given program for long enough. Results take time, and changing the strategy or drastically overhauling your program every couple of weeks breaks the momentum of training and slows down progress. It's okay for your goals to change, but stopping and starting new programs every few weeks won't help you get to where you want to go. Generally, we want to be hitting muscle groups more than one time per week. This will allow us to stimulate muscle protein synthesis numerous times in a week, and it also means that the volume per muscle group is typically going to be of a higher quality because we're not blasting a muscle group with a ton of sets in one session. I'm sure we've all done a session where we've blasted a muscle group with 4, 5, 6 different exercises, and by the time you get to the final few exercises, you've got nothing left to give and the quality really drops off. The next piece of the puzzle will be to make sure that you're training hard enough. A lot of people leave a lot more in the tank than they realize, and they're missing out on a lot of muscle and strength gain as a result. Sure, in your first few weeks of training, the focus will more so lie on getting a feel for each movement in the program. But once you're comfortable with each lift, it's time to push hard. A good sign that you are pushing hard enough is the last rep or 2 of a set slowing down despite the same amount of effort being put in to move that weight. If reps in the set aren't slowing, it's probably time to go heavier or complete more reps. Outside of an early rehab context, most sets want to be completed with fewer than 3 reps left in the tank. The majority of the adaptations that we get from training come from when you're pushing sets with fewer than 3 reps left in the tank, so we really want to make sure we're working hard enough. Your lifting technique will play a significant role in how much weight you can lift and the muscle groups that are primarily targeted in a lift. If you're training for something specific like powerlifting, technique's going to look a little bit different if we're trying to maximize muscle growth. Typically, if we're looking to get as much weight as possible on the bar, we are going to do things a little bit differently, and this includes using as many muscle groups as possible for that movement, reducing the range of motion, and utilizing the stretch reflex. This is something that I'll cover in a lot more depth in a subsequent video because it's quite a lengthy topic, but it is important to note that there are some differences in how we'll execute on certain exercises. If you're training to gain as much muscle as you can, we want to be moving through a full range of motion, minimizing involvement from muscle groups that aren't the target. Think about swinging when performing a bicep curl or kipping when doing pull-ups. A big piece of the puzzle when it comes to training and the results you get is nutrition. Again, this is something that we are going to cover a lot more in future videos, but some basic principles of nutrition that will help you make the most out of your training are eating enough protein, which is responsible for muscle repair and growth. So consuming enough of it will help you get the most out of your training and will help you recover from your sessions. Consuming a lean protein source of 30 or more grams per meal can be a really good way of making sure you're getting enough protein each day. Other than protein, biasing carbs as an energy source will help with your performance during sessions. Carbs are our body's main source of energy, so being adequately fueled going into sessions will help you push harder. There's an endless amount that you can learn about training, but if you stick with these basic concepts at the start of your journey, you'll save yourself a lot of time and put yourself in a great spot to progress. When you're new to training, try not to overcomplicate things. Just focus on getting into the gym, building positive habits, and enjoying your training. I hope this has been an insightful watch, and if you're new to training and have questions on training and nutrition, feel free to get in touch with us. Thanks guys, and happy lifting.